Hello, my friends. Once again, you're most welcome to English Makes Bold YouTube channel. Today, we are going to listen and practice of English through the inspirational story of a lovely cat named Whisker. In this video, we will learn and practice a lot of vocabulary with fun. Okay, then, without wasting any further moment, let's get started. Whisker's Adventures, a tale of friendship. In a quaint little town nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a curious kitten named Whisker. With her soft, fluffy fur as white as freshly fallen snow and her eyes gleaming like emeralds, Whiskers was the epitome of charm and curiosity. Whiskers lived in a cozy cottage with her loving owner, Mrs. Jenkins. Mrs. Jenkins was a kind-hearted woman who adored Whiskers and treated her like a member of the family. Together, they spent their days exploring the town and enjoying each other's company. One bright and sunny morning, Whiskers woke up with an extra spring in her step. She could feel the excitement bubbling inside her as she looked out the window and saw the world beckoning her to explore. Bounding out of bed, Whiskers meowed happily and dashed downstairs to greet Mrs. Jenkins. With a twinkle in her eye, Mrs. Jenkins smiled and said, "Good morning, Whiskers. Are you ready for another adventure?" Whiskers nodded eagerly, her tail swishing back and forth with anticipation. Together, they set off towards the heart of the town, where the bustling streets were alive with the sights and sounds of daily life. Their first stop was the town square, where vendors lined the streets selling fresh fruits, colorful flowers, and homemade treats. Whiskers' nose twitched with delight as she sniffed the air, taking in the delicious scents wafting through the air. As they wandered through the square, Whisker spotted a group of children playing with big, colorful balloons. Her eyes widened with curiosity, and she tugged on Mrs. Jenkins's sleeve, urging her to go closer. Mrs. Jenkins chuckled and followed Whisker's lead, amused by her insatiable curiosity. They watched as the children laughed and played, the balloon floating high above their heads like a bright red beacon of joy. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the square, causing the balloon to drift away from the children's grasp. Whisker's heart skipped a beat as she watched it soar higher and higher into the sky, out of reach. Without a second thought, Whiskers darted after the balloon, her tiny paws pounding against the pavement as she raced to catch up. Mrs. Jenkins called out to her, but Whiskers was determined to retrieve the balloon and return it to its rightful owner. Up, 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 Whiskers climbed, scaling walls and leaping from rooftop to rooftop in pursuit of the elusive balloon. Her whiskers quivered with excitement as she neared her goal, her determination unwavering despite the obstacles in her path. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Whiskers reached the top of the tallest building in town. With a triumphant meow, she reached out and snagged the balloon with her claws, holding it tightly in her grasp. But just as Whiskers was about to make her descent, disaster struck. A sudden gust of wind sent her tumbling through the air, the balloon slipping from her grasp as she plummeted towards the ground below. With a soft thud, Whiskers landed in a heap on the ground, the wind knocked out of her sails. She lay there for a moment, dazed and disoriented, before slowly picking herself up and shaking off the dust. As Whiskers dusted herself off, she noticed a crowd gathering around her, their faces filled with concern. Among them was the little girl whose balloon she had tried so valiantly to retrieve. Tears welled up in the girl's eyes as she rushed forward and scooped Whiskers into her arms, showering her with kisses and hugs. "Thank you, Whiskers," she cried, her voice filled with gratitude. "You're my hero." Whiskers purred contentedly as she snuggled into the girl's embrace, basking in the warmth of her newfound friendship. From that day on, Whiskers and the little girl were inseparable, embarking on countless adventures together and forging a bond that would last a lifetime. And as for the balloon, it floated away into the sky, a symbol of the friendship that had blossomed from an unexpected act of bravery and kindness. All right, guys, this is the end of the story. I hope you liked the video and learned a lot from it. Just like the video and subscribe our channel to get regular updates. Thanks a lot. We will meet in next video. Till then, keep practicing. Thank you, bye-bye, and take care.